Primary season is kicking off and gaining steam. Hey, Democrats, don't screw this up. I'm Nathan Seelove, and this is Factually Biased. Politico recently published an article about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and it was talking about how a lot of congressional Democrats are annoyed by her, or are disillusioned by her, or feel like she's not respecting the party because she's going too extreme, she's too extremely left-wing, she's too much of a progressive, she's calling out her fellow Democrats. And one thing that concerned me about this article is that it quoted Democrats who are actually in the House of Representatives, and I'm concerned that this idea, this conventional wisdom that in order to win, you need to be a centrist, is going to carry over into the 2020 Democratic primary election for President of the United States. And I'm concerned about that because this conventional wisdom no longer applies. There's this idea that if you support policies like Medicare for all, or free college tuition, or legalizing marijuana, that is a radical position. That is an extremist position. You are too far left, and you can't possibly win. Thing is, that is no basis in reality. 70% of Americans support Medicare for all. 60% of Americans support free college tuition. 62% of Americans support legalizing marijuana. In fact, 52% of Republicans support Medicare for all. A higher percentage of Republicans support Medicare for all than Senate Democrats. That's a problem. So, the point I'm trying to make is that Democrats should not be afraid to take these positions because they are extremely popular. Now, to be clear about one thing, I'm not saying that because they're popular, they're automatically good policies. To do that would be to commit the bandwagon fallacy. These happen to be good policies on their own merits. And I'll make other videos about that in the future, about why exactly they're good policies, the economics of it, and all of that. But the point is that the idea of, oh, well, we need a Democrat who doesn't support Medicare for all, but maybe supports expanding on Obamacare a bit, or a Democrat that doesn't support legalizing marijuana, but, maybe legalize medical marijuana, or doesn't support free college tuition, but maybe we could try to lower the interest rates on student loans. I mean, I'm not saying that each of those things would not be progress, and those in comparison to Donald Trump's policies would not be preferable, but the argument that, oh, it would be great if we had Medicare for all, but no one's going to support that because it's too far left, is just not true. In fact, if you are defining a extremist as being someone with a fringe view, then by that definition, people that don't support Medicare for all are extremists, because that represents 20% of the country. Only 20% of the country openly do not support Medicare for all. That is a fringe view. So don't be afraid to take these positions. Don't be afraid to be called an extremist, because that argument has no ground to stand on. The argument of you being an extremist has no ground to stand on. So we should be supporting these progressive policies, and we should be looking for a candidate that supports these progressive policies because they're good policies, but also because they have so much support, they're completely viable to be implemented. Like, they're not going to cost you political points. They're not going to lose you an election. They're going to win you an election. Well, That's today's video. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a like, a share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, check out some of my past videos, and I will talk to you next week.